So the second link is Sankhara Vijaya Vinyanam. In this link between Sankhara and Vijnana, Sankhara belong to one life and the Vijnana belong to another life. It is important to understand how these two factors are related and how the Sankhara produce Vijnana in the next life. And also it is necessary to understand how we die, how death takes place in one life, and we reborn in another life, rebirth in another life. So the last consciousness in our life is called death or Chuti Chaita. Immediately after the last consciousness in the past life, there arises the first consciousness called Paticca-Samuppada Chaita, relinking consciousness in our mother womb in this present life. So we need to understand the process of Chuti and Paticca-Samuppada, death and rebirth correctly. If we do not understand correctly, we may fall into a wrong view that when we die, a physical body ceases, but a kind of soul continue to move to another life, another place or another body, like a man moving from one house to another. In this way, we may fall into the wrong view of an everlasting soul that moves from one life to another. This kind of wrong view is called eternalist, Sasata Deity. Another view is Ocheta Deity. If there is no permanent entity, some people may think a person dies here and everything gone, everything disappear, everything gone forever. So this is also wrong view of a nihilist, that is Ocheta Deity. So Sasata Deity and Ocheta Deity, eternalist and nihilist views are relevant to most of the people. It is extremely extensive. Even those so-called Buddhists, if they do not experience insight knowledge, if they do not understand, if they do not practice meditation, if they do not understand the reality, and they can take up these two wrong views, even if it is not all the time. Sometimes they can fall into these wrong views. But among Buddhists, the difference is that they believe and accept the Buddha's teaching. They believe that there is only Namarupa, there is only psychophysical process. The mind matter process only exists. And there is no soul, there is no self. They believe. Although they may not be free from these wrong views yet, they will not adhere, they will not cling to these wrong views strongly. So it will not become a danger to realizing Megaphala, path and fruition. So that is very fortunate, there is special characteristics among Buddhists. So even if Buddhists don't know about death and rebirth, they don't know about samsara very well previously, they can still practice meditation. If they practice, after they come to know according to the reality, while practicing, they can be totally free from these wrong views. There was some Mahathera, Venerable Chanda, after Lord Buddha entered Pre-Nirvana, Venerable Chanda practiced Vipassana meditation. He could not progress in his practice because he still had clinging to the wrong views of self, atta, deity. So at this time, since he listened to the discourse on Paticca-Samuppada, dependent origination, given by Venerable Ananda, and he understood and practiced, and finally he became free from the wrong view of self. Later he realized Arahaship, Arahata Megaphala. So it is very fortunate if you believe Buddha teaching. If you believe what Buddha teach is right, Buddha teaching is correct, although you do not yet know about death and rebirth very clearly, although you are not free from these wrong views, you should not worry at all. You should not criticize. You should simply practice meditation. And then you will see for yourself that Chuti and Bodhisandhi, the death and rebirth. And after your understanding becomes clear by yourself, you can become free from these wrong views. Some people do not know much about Chuti and Bodhisandhi, death and rebirth, and they are deluded or they have a nihilist belief, and they still able to ask question. After death, is there still another life? So they ask this question. After death, is there still another life. So concerning this question of whether there is still life after death, the view that life exists before death is obvious. So what does it mean that life exists before death? It means that a self or soul exists. So according to materialism, although they say that they do not cling to the view of self, the belief that a person exists before death is still the belief in self or soul. So it is difficult to answer this question of belief in self from the point of view of Buddhism. If you answer that life still exists after death, it supports the belief in self and eternalist belief. So it is not suitable to answer that there is totally nothing after death. So Lord Buddha did not answer this question. After death, is there still another life? Buddha did not answer. And Buddha left that question. Furthermore, it is difficult to explain to ordinary people by showing proof or evidence. It is difficult to explain. So for those who have attained supernormal powers, it is possible for them to explain it. If they show two lives, if they show the Deva realms, hell realms, and hungry ghost realms, etc., with their powers, so it may be possible. So Buddha did not answer the kinds of question, and Buddha taught practically. He taught that if mental defilements, if kilesa are not extinguished, then after the old life cease, a new life of physical and mental aggregate will arise and continue without a pause. So Buddha taught practically in this way. So more practical way is the practice vipassana and see yourself. After practicing vipassana meditation, you reach knowledge of conditionality, that is, you know the cause and effect relationship, picaya brega jnana, and understanding cuti and patisandhi, death and rebirth to some extent. So at that time the problem of life may become clarified. So it will become even more clear when samasana jnana, udyabhya jnana, knowledge of arising and passing away, and Bhinkha-jnana, knowledge of dissolution, when you reach, it is more clear. Why? Because when these insights are reached, you can clearly experience for yourself with your own knowledge how the units of consciousness arise, link one by one without a break. So after seeing this and comparing with your present experience, yogi will be able to accept. The last moment of death is similar to the consciousness which continually disappear during practice. The arising of a new life is the same as the mind moments which are ever newly arising with each noting. While noting now, just like how when the previous consciousness ceases, the next unit of consciousness immediately arises. So in the same way, when dying, after the final moment of consciousness ceases, and the very first unit of consciousness will immediately arise in the new life. But this vipassana knowledge. The knowledge from vipassana insight is not yet stable and firm. This understanding can disappear at a later time. To know this process securely, a yogi must at least reach the Sotapaddi Mega, Sotapaddi path knowledge, so that wrong beliefs and skeptical doubt, Deti and Vicikicca can never arise again in you. So only then this understanding will become definite and secure. So teachers always encourage you to practice until you reach the Sotapaddi Mega Phala. You will experience yourself, you will get the correct answer when you reach the Sotapaddi Mega Phala. If you practice diligently, you can experience this when you reach the knowledge of arising and passing away. When the previous consciousness ceases, the following consciousness arises, dependent on it afterwards. And you can clearly experience how it begins, just like seeing someone appear through a window. Then you can clearly experience how this consciousness ceases, just like a flame that is extinguished. After seeing the continuous arising of one mind after another, yogi can understand. Yogi come to understand Juti and Bodhisattva. Dying is not just the death of one solid physical body. Dying is the disappearance. Dying is like the disappearance of one of the unit consciousness. Bodhisattva rebirth is not not the appearance of whole solid physical body or the transference of an entire body. It is the arising of a new, it is like the arising of a new unit of consciousness, which takes an object near death in the previous life. So you may understand in this way. So when we alive, before death, our series of consciousness relying on the present physical body. In the mental process, after one preceding consciousness ceases and the next consciousness arises. So the ceasing of the preceding mind and the arising of the following mind occurs continuously without a stop. But at the time of death, because the mental process can no longer be based on the present physical body, because the body is deteriorating, moment by moment, down, and we are dying. So, it takes another physical process as a base. The place where the mind is based on is different. The mental process is one continuous process. So Master Sayadaw gave an example. It is similar to an electric current flowing in without a break into a light bulb and causing the bulb to continuously illuminate and shine. After shining, when the electric bulb burns out, light can no longer arise in the bulb. But the light-giving current is still active and ongoing. So the bulb cannot illuminate only because it is burnt out. If you replace the bulb with another functional one, the electric current will flow continuously into the new bulb and cause it to shine. So similar to this, our body of the old life is like the old bulb which burns out and the mental process can no longer arise, dependent on the old physical body, because of the physical body deteriorating and finally die. And the mental process arises based on the new body, which is like a new functional light bulb. So one life gone, a new life, and what we call rebirth is just mind and body. And when these mind and body arise, we say in conventional usage that this person has transmigrated to another life or reincarnated in another life. We use this expression because living in the conventional world, we cannot avoid using them. But nothing is really transferred. since the mind and body that arise at rebirth are new. According to the Buddhist explanation, the rebirth does not mean that a permanent soul or a permanent entity or a being transmigrates from one life to another. Nothing from this life goes over to the next life. All arise in the new life are just new mind and matter, even though they are the result of past karma, past sankhara. So the relinking or the rebirth in the present life is totally a new life, but has connection with sankhara in the past life, connection with karma in the past life. It is difficult to understand this connection since the person in this life is not identical to the person he used to be in the past life, and the person in this life is not totally different from the person he used to be in the past life. So there are many analogies given in the commentary. The first analogy is the echo. So you go to the forest, or you in the cave, or in the big, large, big Dhamma hall, or large building. If you shout, "Hey," then from far away, the sounds of "Hey" will come back. It is because the sound waves of the echo return from striking the wall of the cave. But the sound of "Hey," after not going far away and does not make a sound anymore, echo is not separate from the cause of the shout. So in the same way, when we die, the rebirth consciousness in the new life does not transfer from the consciousness of the old life. It is not separate from the cause of avijja and sankhara, ignorance and karma formation of the old life. So it is the similar when we are dying, our karma, the deeds which we have been performed, or the signs of karma nimitta from the performance of our action, or the gati nimitta, the signs of destiny, or the situation or condition of the life which is to come, we arise. And the new consciousness, which is called relinking consciousness, must arise dependent on one of these objects. So when this happens, the consciousness of the old life does not transfer over. But when we are dying, after taking an object which arises at the moment of death, a new consciousness must arise due to the cause of avijja and sankhara, ignorance and karma formation of the previous life. Why? Because the avijja, ignorance, and because of avijja, we have performed karma, which will give effects, and because of karma, because of sankhara, when close to death, consciousness of the new life must arise. Depending on karma or karma nimitta or gati nimitta, signs of karma or signs of destiny. So it is very obvious that it is not free from the causes of the past life. So when we die, when we go to another life, nothing transferred, and what we can bring is only the called karma or sankhara, and to make sure that the kinds of the pure karma, we try to practice meditation. If we practice meditation, we can gain the Sotapaddi Mega Phala. And when Sotapaddi Mega is gained, it is very sure that we can bring some Ariyadana. Ariyadana means the properties of the Ariya, 7 Ariya Dhamma, Ariyadana. These are Saddha, Sila, Sutta, Jaga, Pinya, Hiri, and Uddhapa. So these are 7 Ariyadana. Saddha, now you have faith in the practice, you have faith in the true Buddha, true Dhamma, true Sangha, and also true practice. So the Saddha is real properties. The properties can be transferred to next life. And Sila, moral precepts. And Sutta, knowledge. Jaga, your generosity. And Pinya, your vipassana knowledge. And Hiri Uttapa, moral shame and moral fear. So when yogi attains Sotapaddi Mega, that Ariya Dana can be gained, and Sotapaddi make you guarantee these 7 Ariya Dana can be transferred to many lives. So we will continue tomorrow. We have to stop our discourse for today. By practicing vipassana meditation, by observing every phenomena occurring at the 6 senses, may all yogis can bring 7 Ariya Dhamma that can be transferred to every life. May all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future. Sadhu, sadhu.